Ready?
Three, two,
Two,
one.
one. Action. Welcome to the Pure Michigan Properties Podcast. We are now on episode 6. Welcome to the new year. Thank you all for joining us. For the newcomers, we welcome you. We're excited and we'll get started here, right?
Yes, let's do it. So we are now in 2024. Wow, that's really weird to say.
You know what? I've been looking forward to 2024. So it's been an easy transition for me. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I I just feel like this is the year of opportunity, and there's so like I think I was telling one of my friends, I was like, 2023 was the warm up. Let's play the game
Fair
now.
enough.
And so I think that's why I'm really excited for this year because I really, for me and my business, I get to really just hit the ground running. It's a new year,
Oh my
fresh
goodness.
start. I know it sounds so cheesy to say,
No.
but really like a new year, new me,
Yeah.
new year for the business.
Absolutely. It's that I think that it's just refreshing, right?
Mm.
You know, when you get to start over and knowing you have 365 new days, it's really exciting
It really
for
is.
me.
And I love the fact that you said it's like a fresh start,
Yeah.
refresh. Because honestly, sometimes I really do
Yeah.
need that because like I get stressed out and a event like a new year really is just like in my mind, it's like the mindset of things. It's like
Mhm.
you get to wipe everything clean. It's a fresh
Yeah.
start. And truly it's so exciting.
It's sort of like we'll get into it, you guys, but it's sort of like a timeout where sometimes when we get overwhelmed, we sit back, take those deep breaths, count to 10. It helps us just shift our thoughts. So,
1,000%.
you ready, Dylan?
I'm so excited. So let's talk a little bit about the episode. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about.
We're going over our 2024 business plans, how we plan on servicing the community. And so, really excited about that there.
So I think that was great. Since we're starting now in 2024, let's reintroduce ourselves. Let's give our
Mm-hmm.
audience a new, or not even a new perspective, but a reintroduction of who we are, why we do what we do, and really why we love what we do.
Indeed.
Do you want to start?
So, no, Dylan. Actually, I don't want to start
Oh, okay.
because Dylan and I, we sat down and we did the outline and we're like, let's do 30-second elevator pitch. And I was telling Dylan, I don't know about 30 seconds. So, Dylan, I'm going to let you go ahead and kickstart us.
Yeah, so my name is Dylan Mostyn. I am a realtor in this beautiful state of Michigan. Before I was a realtor, I was in college. I studied marketing, got a BBA in business. And the reason why I got into real estate was because I loved the community and I loved providing value. That was one thing that always was a huge thing in my day to day that would make me fulfilled, was knowing that I was able to provide value to someone or something. And that's why I genuinely wake up and love what I do each and every day.
That was really good.
Thank you. Shalonda.
So, this right here is kind of probably a unique way of putting it, but I'm going to start from the very beginning,
Please.
right? It was a Saturday, 1989, July 8th. I was born the youngest of three in the household, a Detroit native, educated through the Detroit public school system prior to completing high school, certified as a licensed, I'm sorry, certified, yeah, as a licensed, no, that doesn't make sense, certified as a nurse assistant, right? And upon completion of graduating high school, I began working as a cashier and meat associate at Save a Lot, which in retrospect is the foundation of my service or me servicing the public. And it was very impactful and influential. It's how I discovered a lot about myself in that time. But moving forward in my journey, I also employed through OnStar as a customer service problem solving representative. Some may know me as a sales associate, Walmart, or direct care worker through the Judson Center,
Mm.
caring for special needs individuals. Um, I may have made your day at the Wave Show Carnival, where I served elephant ears and worked in a popper for Lynn and Jeff, which was a great experience. Um, Moving forward or right along, as a nurse assistant with Cambridge East and Villette City Center, but also Comfort Care of Rochester Hills, where I double served as a caretaker and front end support. If not, but that doesn't give you a full scope of who I am, I'll say.
Right.
I'm also prior or past member of Mary Grove as a Mustang, where I studied forensic science. Oakland Community County Grizzly, where I double major in business administration as well as mortuary science, where I was able to complete my prereqs before my journey at Wayne State, where they actually had me on a wait list. And kind of sums up who I am, but to throw in, maybe pissed a few people off during their daily commute as a traffic controller. I was the one who shut down the road. I'm sorry, you guys. I had to protect the crews out there that was responding to emergency
So
calls and
she was the
services.
reason why you were late to
I
your
was.
job, everyone.
Yeah, I'm
so
sorry.
Go after her. I'm just kidding.
I closed the road down. I shut down the on ramps to the freeway. I apologize, you guys. But most importantly, too, I think I want to mention I'm a mother. You know, a mother of four, which entails many roles.
And let me tell you, that's a hard job.
I haven't found a quick, easy, or the right way or anything, but it's a very rewarding job, and I love it. I love it. So that's it. That's a little bit of rundown of who I am,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why I do what I do is because of all those experiences that I've had with individuals. Just I love helping. I really love helping and providing resources is really rewarding. Real estate is not what I do, is essentially who I am, I feel. Yeah.
I would totally agree, especially like watching your day-to-day actions. 1,000%. Like even like what you say, you put the action towards it. So
Thank
I
you,
would agree.
Dylan.
Thousand
Thank
percent.
you.
Of course.
But yeah, that's it. I'll stop there.
No, if you want to keep going, please. This could be the whole episode.
Listen, no,
Let's
I
talk
will
about
stop
you.
there. That's it. Nothing,
Oh, okay.
nothing more.
Oh, fine. Okay. Like we said in today's episode, we really want to highlight the topic of going into 2024 and really where we want to bring our business. And
Yep.
I'm so excited because we have a couple different, well, a handful of questions that
Yes.
we want to ask each other for you to get a better understanding of our business and where our business is going.
And how it can best suit you in your journey.
1,000%. All right, so do you want to just jump right in?
Yeah, you know, we decided that we feel like it would make sense to also reintroduce the podcast, right?
Oh my God, yes.
So, hey, this is the go-to podcast where curious minds meet insightful conversations as we deep dive into the real estate trends of 2023. It's also our way that to educate, inspire, and entertain as you join us and allow us into your lives on your commute. And we thank you. It's a way that we give back to the community that we feel is genuinely, serves us and fit for us. And just to say thank you, right, for joining us on our journey as well, to allow us to be that Michigan real estate resource provider for you.
Yeah, genuinely, I think that you really wrapped that up really perfectly. I also want to say really thank you so much for everyone who's really tuned in or even just like watched like the clips.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, really from what we've gotten back on the feedback, it's really been amazing, and that's really where we get a lot of value is from you guys is what when we hear hey guys, this is what we would want to hear. This is what we recommend. And that valuable feedback
Yes,
is what we take in. So if you guys can continue doing that in 2024 for us, for you,
indeed. Well
that
said.
that would be amazing. But other than that, I think you summed it up really perfectly. There's always going to be a little bit of everything for everyone in
Yes.
this podcast, and that's really the whole goal, is that everyone can take a little pieces of nuggets of value and apply it into their life. So that's the whole goal in my eyes. And I think you said it perfectly, is how this podcast really is for everyone.
Well, glad to be a part of it and see what the viewers or the listeners, I think, should also understand, Dylan, is that there's no one behind the scenes besides you and I. So this is something that is authentic to our, to us.
And when you say that, another thing I wanted to add on to that is that even if we didn't even do this podcast, we would still be having these same
Oh,
conversations.
absolutely.
Just so everyone, like, as much as it is for you guys,
yes.
but it's also great because we get to go back and rewatch it, dive back into the conversations that we have. But the cool part is, these conversations are already happening. But the cool part is now we get to share it with the world.
Indeed.
So I think right now let's just jump right in, if that's okay with you, Shalonda.
I'm fine with it. Let's do it, Dylan.
Let's do it. Okay. So the first question I want to ask about the 2024 business is, what is our mission?
So, well, I am the president and CEO of Waither Legacy Solutions LLC, which is real estate consulting, service, and sales. And so the mission there is to educate really the masses as to what their options are so that they're fully informed in a way that's easily digestible to them. Also serving as a personal navigator throughout the transaction for our clients. Um, but also, the mission is to build strong relationships, not only with the clients, but with other agents, preferred vendors, and members of the community, right? So that we're able to connect our clients to the right preferred or professionals that they should be in contact with. Um, we do this. I feel like I'm able to provide this service through a holistic approach as well, and we want to continue to build a community, and it all starts with ensuring we're in alignment as people, right?
Right.
Serving and being members of a community. So that's the mission there. Really to educate, ensure that we're connecting and building strong relationships, and also focusing on ensuring that we all are counterbalanced in life.
I agree. I think that's great.
Thank
For
you.
me, my business mission is kind of like what you said, is to be really the resource. I want to be like the all stop shop.
Okay.
For my clients, or not even my clients, but really for like kind of like the community.
Indeed.
I want to be that go-to person for the areas that I service. And I really want to be known as that expert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because really, you said something to me a couple months ago, and it genuinely made so much sense when you said it. It was, do you love to do research? And when you said that to me, I was like, I love research. I love research projects in school. And you're like, that's why you love real estate.
I know.
Because real estate really is about gaining information,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to articulate it to a certain group of people, right? So for me, being able to gather as much knowledge under my belt is the key, but to unlock it is to give it to my community. And that's really my mission for 2024.
Oh, I love that.
Thank
I love
you.
that.
Thank you.
That works.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think in 2023, I did a great job of getting a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
But now this year, I really want to be able to pass that information along and articulate it to where I serve.
Sure.
And to the people that are really, who need it or who want it.
And so, and I'll say this because Dylan is always present, and each time I see you, Dylan, you're always engaged and learning new things and putting forth the effort that's needed and that's required in the real estate industry. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Really, I
absolutely.
do. Okay.
So yeah, let's talk some more. What are some strengths?
Let's talk about that.
Mm.
So for me, I will say a strength of mine that I really think that I lean into a lot is my articulation of information that I'm giving out. I think one of the things that a lot of people have told me is I understand who I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Is that if I understand that a client maybe not is knowledgeable in this area, but is very knowledgeable in one area, I'm able to read that really well based
Okay.
off like the way someone's body language is or the way that they speak back to me. Um, and understanding that it's very psychological, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to say I'm a manipulator, but I understand how to have a conversation with someone
Indeed.
in a professional setting to where they feel comfortable, I feel comfortable,
Right.
and genuinely it makes sense.
Right.
And I think that's a huge strength for me in my business. Um, and it's really worked out in 2023, and it's something that I look forward to bringing into 2024.
Indeed.
What would you say your biggest strength is?
Well, I think that my biggest strength so far is just being authentic, right? Um, Having conversations with individuals and just really letting them know, hey, I'm not a perfect individual, but I am 100% committed, right? And so let's get the work done. And
Yeah.
here's what has to happen. Here's what needs to happen. And here's why I really work on facts.
Mm-hmm.
Really study the market conditions because at the end of the day, there's multiple approaches, but in real estate, the market is going to sell your home. So I think a strength of mine, much like yourself, is doing the research, connecting the information, and being able to articulate that as well so that there's a level of understanding so we all are able to reach the goal that's set forth.
I agree. I think that was perfect the way you said it. Um, just because at the end of the day, the whole point of what we do is there's a goal in place. It's either they want knowledge, they want information, they want resources. Maybe they want to sell a home, buy a home, invest.
Yeah,
There's a goal attached to what we do. And the
absolutely.
cool part is we get to be along for that goal with our clients. And it's
Absolutely.
cool just to see the whole process go from A to Z, really.
Yeah, yeah. And
So,
so it's,
okay, I'm sorry.
oh no, no, you don't have to apologize. It's just one thing, you know, we really do appreciate you guys entrusting your process and your journey with us. And so putting that due diligence forward is, it just has to happen. It's what we do, right? And
It's
it's
why we wake up,
right, it's
really.
why we wake up. Here's one thing I asked, I guess, new individuals that I meet, right? Is if you were to wake up and money was not an object, there's no object, right? Career wise, what would you do,
Mm,
right? And most people pause and they say, "How? Well, I never really thought about it."
right.
So, for me, I've thought about it, and this is it. So,
I think that's really attaching to your big why. Kind of like our first episode that we
mm-hmm.
filmed is why do we do what we do? Because if it's for the money, please leave the industry.
Leave
Please
it.
leave whatever you're doing because at the end of the day, you're chasing something that could always increase, really,
Mm-hmm.
but you're never going to feel
Mm-hmm.
satisfied.
Right.
You might hit X amount of dollars, but as an individual, you're going to want more because that's just how we're really programmed to be
Yeah.
because we always want better for ourselves.
Yeah.
Everyone wants that.
Absolutely.
But the money aspect is just, you're never going to feel fulfilled. You're never going to
That's
feel
right.
satisfied and you're never going to hit your purpose.
Yep.
And there's going to be regret.
Yeah. Mm. We're not living life with regret.
I can't. I really cannot
We're
do
not.
that.
So Well said, Dylan.
Thank you, thank you.
But I agree totally.
So let me ask you this, Shalonda. So now that we talked about our strengths and our weaknesses, what's something in 2023 that you did in your business that you want to carry over into 2024?
I'll definitely say that holistic approach to real estate, right? Ensuring not only that the transaction or the process is successful in obtaining and securing that property, but ensuring that my clients are are aligned, are okay aside from real estate. So, are you self care, right?
Mm.
Have you outlined some of your goals and some strategies aside from just this transaction, right? And how do you plan on carrying out those goals? Um, but ensuring too that family wise they're where they want to be. That's always important, or even if it's spiritual, but just making sure they're empowered and in alignment, and that they wake up and they feel okay. And this because real estate can be long term, right? In terms of fulfilling, your mortgage if that's the direction you choose to go in.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, making sure you're in the right place.
100%.
So, or one is in the right place, not you specifically. But
No,
what
I
about
agree.
you, Dylan? Tell me.
For me, for going my business in 2023 that I want to carry over to 2024 is really the education that I get and I get to give to my clients. So, kind of like how we talked about, is the fact that real estate to me is a big research project.
Mm-hmm.
The more knowledge I can have under my belt, the more valuable I think I am to my clientele. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's more confidence that I have with who I'm working with. And I think that's something that's going to set a lot of agents apart from each other, is who is willing to put in the hours to get that education. And that's not just like going into training classes, having a coach. That's like you mm-hmm. doing your own research. Are you looking at the market stats? Are you knowing days on market? What's the average sales price in your area?
Yep.
If your agent's not doing that, that's something that they need to get on, because like we've been saying, this is to me a whole research project. And if you can't articulate that information over to your client, how are they going to have confidence in you and what Absolutely. The services you're providing to them?
Absolutely. I saw that a real estate meme, or I guess that's what you call it.
Yeah.
So it was a realtor bundle up in the midst of a snowstorm. Like your agent will be there no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
That's really Dylan and I. Like, we will Genuinely. Be there. I'm showing up.
Shalonda, like, I like to say I'm a tough person. I can't say that until after I met Shalonda. I was like, I thought I was a really hard worker and like I did everything in my power. Let me tell you, Shalonda, she will go through hell and back to make sure she gets her business in place and where she wants it at. I've never met anyone who's more dedicated to making sure they're still showing up. So
I do try to appreciate it.
Just to let everyone know, Shalonda, she's the girl. She's the woman.
Listen, I mean, I try, I just try to give the service that I would like to receive, I feel like the only one thing we really have is our word, and I try to stand on that.
Yes.
And so this is not only for you all, but this is also a personal commitment for myself.
Can I like change one thing you said though?
Yeah.
I think we have our word, but the most important part about that word that ties into the whole big picture is our reputation.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, that's the only thing I would add into that.
No, I love it. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, how we work, what we say, the actions we provide, the goals we set, basically our whole business really is built onto our reputation and how people in a way perceive us and the
Indeed.
way we provide our service. And that's why I think reputation is so important.
It is very important. And I'll say, in regards to that, a lot of my business does come through my sphere, which in part is because of the reputation that I have. Um, we touched on it briefly in our first episode. If I don't love what I'm doing, I'm not going to do it. And I try and put my best effort forward in everything that I do. So,
Very
and I
much
see
so.
that in you as well, Dylan. So,
And I think that's why we click so well, is because
yeah,
we both recognize that we dedicated so much of our lives to doing what we love, and genuinely, like when we see each other, it's always just
it's a
a,
vibe.
it really is. And like I just
It's
wish, like,
amazing feeling.
I'd love to see the vibe physically, but like you get it when you get it, right?
Indeed.
And you're not gonna vibe with everyone, fair enough.
Fair enough.
But it was so cool, just like when the first day we met, like I just knew.
This has
It's
been
kind of like when
my
you walk
buddy
in.
ever since.
It's like when you walk into your house. It's like the dream. Like you just know.
It's a feeling, right? It's a feeling, and it's a great feeling.
It really it's
Yeah.
one of the best. Okay, so now that we talked about what we want to carry into 2024, what's something that we did in 2023 that we might want to alter, change, or shift?
Yeah. Let's talk about it. For me, I'll say it's how I communicate in my business with the understanding that not everyone communicates in the fashion that I communicated. I'm very traditional. I like to pick up the phone and dial and talk to someone physically, but some people are like, hey, just shoot me an email or send me a quick text. And I'm like, but it's just so much easier to pick up the phone. And I want to know, I want to hear the tone of your voice. I want to ensure that if you have any questions, that we can address those questions at that moment, right? So I have been a little relaxed there. It takes me a little bit longer to, open up my email and
Mm.
sit down and type things out and send over an email or even to text. I will respond. I definitely will respond same day
Mm.
unless something is absolutely wrong. Um, but aside from that, I think that's it for now. For now, that's it.
Right.
There'll always be a need for change, I feel, as we grow.
I agree with what
Right.
you said because I'm the exact same way where I rather just pick up the phone and call you. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. It's not that I don't like texting, but it's harder to gauge someone at
Sure.
that point
Yep.
where maybe you said something and I understood it as a different tone than what you were saying it
Mm-hmm.
as. Like what you said, it was like I'd rather get to have that more personal connection with
Yep.
you. I totally understand.
Okay.
And I agree with you. And it's definitely more of like the old school kind of way because I know so many people love texting. I get it, but like I love having that conversation.
So I come from the era where from a very that era right where we transitioned from the traditional to the modern way of living. I'll say um, I love the feel of books and touching the words and following along and digesting the information. But I like technology. I'll say that it's just I don't have faith in it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? We had a conversation some time ago, and I just kind of explained to you. Well, I'm sure a lot of the viewers don't know the blackout of 2003. I had heart surgery, and I
Mm.
had just literally come out of surgery less than 5 minutes before the blackout.
Right.
And so that for me was kind of a traumatic experience. And it's just like in those few days that the world or the region was without power, how did you communicate then?
Right.
And so working, just looking at the way of the world, right? Also understanding that we use technology every day, all the time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's an end to everything.
And I will say, I think when you said that, like the word I would use is people rely on technology.
People rely on technology,
And
and
I remember when I first started, there was a message in our like office chat, and one of the questions that was brought up that we had to like think about deeply was, how would you run your business if technology wasn't available? Would you
mm,
still be able to get the things done that you needed to get done? And I thought about that. I was like, wow, I do rely on technology heavily for my business.
mm-hmm.
I'm constantly texting my friends, looking online for things. It's like, wait, well, what if like it just went away? Would I still be in production with where I'm at if I didn't have it? And
Mm,
that's where I understand now where you're coming from
yeah,
with the fact of like you don't really trust it really
yeah.
because
That
it could be gone in a second.
it could be gone in a split second. Where as we are, you know, rolling into the winter here in Michigan, there's going to be times we will experience some power outages with the winter storms that are happening and things like that. And so in that case, what do we do?
Right.
So
It's a question, seriously. I don't
yeah,
think a lot of people even think about that. And I remember when it was literally, I think like the first month I was in this office, that was a question
that
that
was a
was put
question.
in. I was like, that is interesting because
Yeah,
majority of my business is through technology or
yeah.
online, some internet services. So let's talk about what we're most excited about for 2024.
Mm.
Do you want to start?
I'll let you start, Dylan. What are you most excited about
I
or
think
for?
I'm excited to see the growth.
Mm-hmm.
Really. Um, I like to say 2023 was the warm up. 2024 is now the game.
Mm-hmm.
Really. Our business is kind of similar where it's sphere based, where we get to develop the connections that we've already had
Yep.
and now translate them into more of a, I don't want to say more of a business relationship, but get that aspect into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool because I get to be the expert in my field. I don't even know why I did quotes. But I get to
Dylan,
be.
the expert. That's his new tagline.
There we go.
Dylan Mawson Real Estate,
Dylan Mawson Real
the
Estate, the
expert.
expert. There we go.
There we
Bam!
go.
It's my new marketing piece for 2024. But it's cool because like now I get to see those relationships get nurtured in 2023,
Yeah.
and now I'm so excited to see the growth that those relationships get to have in
Okay.
2024. Not because I think what I said I came off the wrong way, um, but it's cool because now I get to see how when I planted the seeds in 2023,
Yes.
I get to see it grow
Yes.
because it's nurtured, it's watered,
Indeed.
it's loved,
And I love it. I love it
and that's what
because
I'm
I
excited
think
about.
when you say it's love, we try to lead with love, right?
Always.
Because when you lead with love, more people follow you because they feel like it's come from a genuine place,
It's
right? And
authentic.
it's authentic, it's within their best interest. So, yeah, absolutely. I love to hear that for you.
So that would definitely be my answer.
Okay.
But tell me about yours.
So, I'm excited to connect with more people, to really get out into the community, have more conversations, get an understanding of what the need is in the community. I have chosen to focus my business in Detroit, in the Detroit market, market where I'm from, familiar with, and I love to service the individuals there. Right. Aside from that, I will say I service not only Detroit though, but Oakland County and also Macomb County. But that is where my focus is, just to get into the area and the mindset to see how and what is needed to be able to help service that, need.
I love
So,
it.
but it also teaches me, right? It also feeds me in a way where it makes me stronger, right? It makes me stronger with my communication skills and help me to understand people, right? So we don't always have the same understanding or the values, right? So just learning other people,
A thousand
very
percent.
exciting.
And I think when I think of real estate, there's like three main aspects of this job that are very crucial to at least have some kind of grasp on. And I think one, marketing, that's probably going to be the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, psychology, is can you understand someone, understand their motivations, really be able to really, in a way, read them to understand if it's a good fit for them or not. Because
Okay.
sometimes not everything is going to be a great fit, but
Yeah.
if you can be able to understand that and
Yeah.
understand where they're at with it, is huge. And then three is sales. Is are you
Ooh, I struggle with three. To bring clarity to the reason why I struggle with sales is just because I'll never try to sell anyone on what they need.
right?
I just would like to have that understanding and go find that the one thing that they are looking for. So
Definitely. I mean, when I say sales, to me, it's more specifically about can you start someone at A and get them to Z? It's,
okay,
I guess,
great.
more
Nope,
specifically about the process of it
got
rather
you.
than being salesy.
Yeah,
Does that make
that
sense?
makes perfect sense now. So let me retract my statement. That all makes sense.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
no, I definitely came off
I
the
don't
wrong
I
way.
don't struggle with sales in,
Yeah.
in that regard. So
No,
yeah,
you're
I'll
you
get
are
you.
well equipped in that area.
Yeah, I'll get you. Yeah, finished. I'll get you to the finish line.
Yes, you will.
So
So let's go on to the last and final question of this episode. What's the biggest lesson we've learned in 2023?
Dylan, what's the biggest lesson? Now, speaking from life and business, right? We'll start with business for me, if that's okay.
Please do.
In business, I feel like the biggest lesson for me is just carrying out communicating, right? How to communicate and ensuring that we seize the opportunities sooner rather than later,
Mm.
right? And so, kind of goes communicating and seizing those opportunities go hand in hand for me because what I what I experienced in 2023 was taking clients to go show properties. We put in offers, right? And say the property has been on market, this is an exaggeration, 1,000 days. And
Mm.
by the time we get to view the property and I speak with a listing agent, they have an offer in hand,
Right.
right? And it's like, I started to implement ensure and I reach out to the listing agent even before I see
Mm.
the property so that we can seize the opportunity in the moment and making sure that my client fully understands what's going on, right? They have a
Right.
whole overview from both sides, from our side, if it's the buy side as well as the list side.
And that's so important
Oh,
too,
absolutely.
because it really sets your client up for success.
Yeah, so that when we're sitting down writing out the purchase agreement, we're talking about different factors that to add, so that we can make a strong offer, one that best suits them as well. And personally, in a personal life, I would say the biggest lesson I learned was honestly protecting my peace, setting boundaries.
Mm.
And so with that, it just self care for one, right? And so not allowing or maybe not, I'm not gonna say not allowing certain energies around me,
Yeah.
but just ensuring that the things that I'm doing right is best interest, right? Best
Right.
is best interest. Period. Getting back into the hobbies that I love, bike riding, painting, anything around water, music,
Mm.
things like that. Um, and I feel like that no, not even I feel. I know that I communicate to a point where I express right away what my expectations are.
Okay.
And so if one doesn't, agree to those expectations, but we're human. So,
Mm-hmm.
but automatically just ensuring that, you know, we leave things where they are respectfully.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I get that.
What about you, Dylan?
For me, the biggest lesson I've learned in 2023 was the value of being intentional with your time.
Mm.
For me, I've realized maybe I was doing the work, being efficient wasn't there, right? I could be working 24 hours a day, but if I'm not doing the right activities at the right time with the right motivations or right intentions,
Mm.
it can mean zero, right?
Okay.
Like, I want to do things that move my business forward, move me forward as an individual as well, so I can see the growth within myself. Because I want to look back at the end of 2024 and say, wow, he
Yeah.
crushed this year. Personally,
That's right.
academically,
That's right.
business, in business,
That's right.
health, mindset. There's everything really.
Indeed.
Um,
So that
so
tunnel vision is on focusing.
100%. And waking up with an intent each and every day.
Okay.
That's the lesson I want to bring from 2023 into 2024. Um, and I also like the fact you said that there's also a crucial aspect to being with time. Time is such a thing. We all have 24 hours in the day.
And time waits for no one,
Exactly.
right? So what do you do in your 24 hours? Yeah.
And like I
That's
think
right.
that's why I bring that back to the being intentional with your time
Yeah.
is in understanding how to use it to the best of your abilities.
Indeed. Is it pushing your goal forward? Right.
Yes.
So being intentional with putting our best effort forward, what we have in that day.
Right.
Not saying that it's going to be 100%, but whatever it is, giving, our best there.
1,000%. Like if I have 60% for that day, can I give 100% of my 60?
Yeah.
And that's what I go in with each and every day is can I be the best version of myself that day for the tools that are in my toolbox.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And part of being the best, version of yourself for that day is also being the best version for ourselves for the community that we service. Would you agree?
I would 100% agree.
And so, in mentioning that, right, let's talk about the direction of the podcast for the rest of the year, reiterate it, and
Definitely.
then we'll get you all out of here. So, Dylan.
So the goal of the whole podcast really is to be the one-stop shop. Really, it's to be a valuable resource to where you genuinely get value out of this to where you can take that and apply that to your life, right? So when we talk about buyers, we talk about sellers, we talk about investors, we talk about first-time home buyers, we talk about renting, right? There's a little bit of everything for everyone, and that's going to be continuing that goal of the whole podcast is that there's a little bit for everyone, right?
Yes.
That's still staying. You're not getting out of that. The goal that I have for myself, and I think Shalanda can agree to this, is that we still want to be able to make sure we understand the needs of the people who are viewing this podcast and making sure that we're hearing you. That's the whole goal of what we do is to make sure you guys get what you guys need out of this.
Mm-hmm.
We already have conversations behind the camera, but making sure the knowledge, the value, the expertise, and the right people as well, because we're gonna have guests on
That's
here,
right.
is what you guys are looking for. So that's the whole goal in my
Yeah.
eyes, and I'm assuming you can agree.
Yeah, no objection to that at all because we're only honestly in business because of you all. So yeah,
1,000%.
you are top priority. So we appreciate that.
Do you want to
Yeah.
talk about? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do you want to talk a little bit what to expect going forward?
Yeah. So to to just wrap that in a thought, going forward, each and every Wednesday, again, we will release a new episode. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Pure Michigan Properties podcast, right? And we'll be bringing on guests again to bring value to you to apply in your life and on your journey. And so we look forward to that. Your feedback has been valued and is appreciated. Please look at this as a partnership going forward, where hey, let me connect with the local realtors and see what information we can gather from them. And so appreciate that there, and that feedback, I guess you can give to us, not guess, reach out to us, me specifically, 586-339-8321 is my contact information, via either text, or you can pick up the phone and call me. I love to have conversations. Or Shalonda, spelled SHALAUND as in Delta A .kw.com. I like for you to utilize that system where you can kind of like browse properties, but you also have all my contact details. But not only reach out to me, please contact Dylan as well.
So the best way to get in contact with me, honestly, is just going on Google, Yahoo, whatever search engine you like the best, and just typing in Dylan Mostyn Real Estate, spelled Dylan Mostyn Mostyn Real Estate. It will be the first link that pops up. You click on that and hit the tab that says contact. It'll give you my phone number and my email address. You can either call, text, email, whatever suits your fancy. Um, and I look forward to having a conversation with you.
So thank you all for joining us. Until real soon, we will see you next week.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.